Pushing the Pylon, week 4 of Monday Night Football is here. We have a doubleheader, but first it's Victory Monday, second one in a row. Jaguars look great, but also for pushing the Pylon, 11-3 this week on picks, and only one of those picks was a straight up loss. One was the Bills, who won but didn't cover, and one was the Packers, who tied and didn't cover. Very good week for us. Let's keep it rolling with these two games on Monday Night Football. First off, we have the New York Jets traveling to Miami to play the Dolphins. Dolphins are -2.5 with an over-under of 43.5. Both teams are winless, but I think it's fair to say the Jets look like the better winless team at the moment. They had a week 1 game against the Steelers they could have won, and they could have won last week against the Bucs. Very close to being 2-1 that team, or even have a win period, but instead they are winless. The offensive weapons this season leave a lot to be desired for the Jets. I believe in their rush attack. I think Breece Hall and Justin Fields being mobile as a quarterback is a big weapon for that Jets team that they need to utilize tonight against the Dolphins. Not only that, but you have Garrett Wilson on the outside. You need to use Garrett Wilson if you want to win football games. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins looked pretty respectable last week when they lost to the Bills on Thursday Night Football, and that's about the only respectable thing the Dolphins have shown this season, because other than that, I think it's fair to say they looked pretty awful. Fans and football fans alike have been clamoring, and the rumors have been starting for Mike McDaniel to potentially lose his job. This divisional game feels very winnable for the Miami Dolphins, and that's exactly why I think there's huge ramifications if Mike McDaniel loses this game to a divisional rival like the Jets and stays winless, especially at home. Even though I think Mike McDaniel should be fired, my pick in this one is the Miami Dolphins -2.5. Look, I don't feel fantastic about it, but I think the Dolphins stick this one out. I think if both teams, quote-unquote, wake up and realize what they have around them on their roster, the Dolphins win this game. My anytime touchdowns for this one may seem a little chalky and a little boring, but I'm going with both starting running backs on both teams. Breece Hall for the Jets, Devon Achane for the Dolphins. I think it just has to happen. These teams have to run the ball when they get in the red zone, and I think both find pay dirt at least once in the game. However, don't be surprised if this is the week Malik Washington gets in the end zone, even though we picked him last week and he fell, 3 or 4 yards short of making us right. Next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Denver to play the Broncos. Broncos are -7.5 with an over-under of 44.5. And I know it's all hypothetical at the end of the day, but the Bengals could very, very easily be an 0-3 football team going into this game with a backup quarterback. Instead, they are 2-1 with the backup quarterback tonight, and they're looking to muster up some offense against a usually stingy defense in Denver. Chase Brown, in my opinion, has been mouse quiet this season, and that needs to change if the Bengals want to stay in this game. Denver Broncos are 2 kicks away from being 3-0 this season. Heartbreaking losses to the Chargers and the Colts in the past 2 weeks. Similar to the other 3 teams we discussed in this clip, the run offense, the rushing attack for the Broncos is paramount to their success tonight. J.K. Dobbins has to utilize the run and get a lot of yardage for the Broncos with time management. Bo Nix, even though it's probably unfair to put all the expectations and fill the plate of a sophomore quarterback, he needs to stay mobile while he's attacking in the pass and the air attack. Bo Nix needs to have an all-around great game. Even though it's the Bengals, he needs it tonight. My pick for this one, and it's the least confident pick on the slate, but I'm going to go Bengals +7.5 here. I don't know if they win this game, but I do think they keep it close. The way this type of matchup is, in my opinion, it's going to be low scoring. Both teams are going to leave the door open for their opponent to stay in it, and I think that benefits you when you have the chance to take 7.5 points with the Bengals. So give me that. Anytime touchdowns for this game for Cincinnati is T. Higgins. I think Jamar Chase is going to be triple or quadruple teamed, however many people you can put on him in a realistic setting. And for the Broncos, we talked about him. I do think J.K. Dobbins finds the end zone regardless of the results of tonight's game. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, or anywhere else that you find Pushing the Pylon.